I'm not gonna do it at the top of the segment like I always do, but I am gonna do it in the middle of the segment. So let's just go ahead and talk about this. Cyberpunk 2077 tops the PS4 PlayStation charts for 2020 or for June 2021. That's right. Like, the game just came back, and guess what? It's the #1 game on the PS4 charts. So there you go.
Yep.
Can't keep a good game down, I guess.
I guess y'all have PS4 Pros and PS5s because they told you straight up, do not play this on the PS4.
Do not play it on a base PS4.
I actually just wrote an article for this on bossrushgames.com just recently where they actually said in a statement to say it's actually not playable.
Yeah.
We've reached a sustainable level with the game where it is playable, but yeah, they did say they do give you a warning in the description. Not recommended if you have a old PlayStation 4.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So.
All right. Sony Interactive Entertainment has published a list of top-selling PlayStation Store downloads for June 2021, with Cyberpunk 2077 topping the list in the U.S. and Europe territories for PS4. Over on the PS5 front, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart claimed that top spot. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart was the best-selling PS5 game via the PlayStation Store in the US and Canada and Europe for the entire month of June, although the charts differ a bit beyond that. For example, FIFA 21 made second place in Europe, while Chivalry #2 was #1 in the United States and Canada. Over on the PS4, CP77 managed to fend off all competition from the likes of Grand Theft Auto 5 and FIFA 21 for the US, Canada, and Europe. Yo, let me finish this. Respectively, despite only just returning to the store after being absent for months. Okay, so Okay, first of all, this would not be an episode of Crossroads PlayStation Podcast if we did not talk about Cyberpunk 2077. I always have to put that out there whenever a Cyberpunk segment happens. Now, but that being said, though, Cyberpunk seems to be picking up right where it left off. Is the resurgence of downloads because is it out of pure curiosity for the fixes that CD Projekt Red worked out, or do you think people really and truly and actually want to play this game?
Before we get on that, can we put some respect on Grand Theft Auto 5? That game is 10 plus years old and still is in the top 5 sales charts month after month after month.
Man,
and I think that game actually won an award just recently for literally the best-selling game of all time.
Stoy, are you trying to trigger Eddie V from Pavlok? Because he gets a mad on. He gets a mad on about Grand Theft Auto 5. He wrote an entire article saying Grand Theft Auto 5 is the worst game of all time.
Aye. Okay. All right. Well, him and I are gonna have our own little. Listen, I mean,
you just thought that you wrote the most controversial article on Boss Rush.
Yeah, clearly I didn't read that one.
I mean, I'll have to go find it, but man, like, it basically headlined the freaking article. I was like, ooh, someone got up and chose violence this morning when they wrote that article.
Yeah, right. Today I want to watch the world burn.
Just real quick, just to recap I'm going to recap I'll recap the top 5 games for PS5 in both regions. In US and Canada, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart was #1, Chivalry 2 was #2, Spider-Man Miles Morales is #3, Guilty Gear Strive was #4, and Scarlet Nexus came behind in number 5. In Europe, it was Ratchet & Clank #1, FIFA 21 #2, Chivalry 2 for #3, Miles Morales for #4, and It Takes Two for #5. Pretty awesome.
Oh, Ed's gonna be double mad now.
I know, because he was hating on that game too. On the PS4 side, the top we're just gonna do the top. We'll do the top 5. On the PS4 side, we had on US and Canada, we had Cyberpunk 2077 #1, Grand Theft Auto 5. I keep trying to say Gran Turismo. Grand Theft Auto 5 was #2, NBA 2K21 was #3, Minecraft was #4, and Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War was #5. Over in Europe, Cyberpunk 2077 was #1, FIFA 21 was #2, Grand Theft Auto 5 was #3, Minecraft was #4, and NBA 2K21 was #5. Should we mention
Eddie, the worst game of all time, still cracking the top 3 monthly sales numbers. Come on, Eddie.
I
mean,
feel like
come on.
Ed's gonna beg you for an invite now, just so he can argue. Invite the EXP cast, just so he can argue with you about this.
Sure. I mean, obviously the game is being held afloat by the constantly evolving and updated multiplayer. I mean, every month they got some new content coming out and stuff, so it pays to like keep playing the game because there's always new content uploaded. And it's like, why does Rockstar need to make a Grand Theft Auto 6? They're still making millions of dollars.
They're still adding content. And honestly, I wish a lot more companies would get on this program too, because for a lot of people, like Corey and I spoke about it last night on the on Nintendo Power Block, like Capcom when they dropped Monster Hunter World, like that was a phenomenon to itself inside the Monster Hunter like mythos. Why weren't they just basically making it games as a service at that point? Why aren't they just creating more content like the game? They released Monster Hunter Rise for the Switch, but technically they could have still kept going with Monster Hunter World, on the Xbox, the PC, and in the PlayStation. Look at Rockstar. Rockstar doesn't have to make like any new games, honestly. All they gotta do is just add more content to the game they have, because guess what? It's the number one selling game. Like Grand Theft Auto literally is basically a Nintendo title. That game hardly ever goes on sale. It's still $60 most times. Like I actually got it for $20 on a Steam sale on the holiday sale.
Same.
And it's one of those things. So like, hey, when you have a good game, like regardless of what's going on out there, we're supposed to be talking about Cyberpunk, but obviously we're talking about Grand Theft Auto. But when you have a good game and you have developers that actually want to invest in it, this is why games like what was that game that came out? No Man's Sky. Remember how bad that game was? And the developers sat down, they put more time into it, they're still developing content for it and stuff. And look at it, it got like 4 awards last year. 4 awards last year, even though the game is what, 5 years old now?
Yeah, I feel like even longer.
So. Yeah.
But jumping back onto Cyberpunk, I mean, I think a lot of people, myself especially, a lot of people are waiting. We're waiting for all those updates to roll out to really fix the game. So I imagine a lot of people are kind of like biding their time, like, okay, we're gonna wait until like those those big patches were coming out. And now that pretty much they came out to say the game is playable now, go play it. That's when I think people started jumping on. And obviously, the fact that Sony just put it back on their stores. I'm waiting for the PS5 upgrade.
PS5 edition, yeah. I have it on PC, so I don't know why I'm lollygagging with beating the game.
I have to count how many times you have to gloat that you have a PC and a high-powered PC. In every podcast. Well, I was playing it on PC, so I had no problems.
I do that less and less now, don't I, Austin? I don't do it as much anymore. Like it's not annoying anymore. Like I mean, people.
He likes to brag about his 70-inch monitors, and he's got like 4 of them in his bedroom. So that's his news.
I was going to say yesterday, how many times did Corey brag about his 2 4K monitors that he has in his setup now?
Yeah. Thanks for taking all that boss rush, buddy.
Right, no kidding. I'm still waiting for my boss rush entertainment check.
I think that's why he's pushing it. I think that's why he's pushing to get monetized now, so he can buy more stuff.
I want to give a shout out to Chivalry 2. By the way, I had never heard of this game, but I'm seeing it everywhere, and it's top of the sales charts and everything. So, it goes to show you that Chivalry is not dead.
I have a feeling Zumi in the chat is drunk right now.
I always said that shout just so I could make that dumb joke. We should move on.
Yeah.